All right, what do we got here? Just kind of a shorter video. This is on Bernie Sanders' channel. This video is called "Why Republicans Came to a Bernie Sanders Rally." So I thought this was pretty going to be pretty interesting. Oh, what does it say? On April 15th, Senator Bernie Sanders and Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez came to the red district of Kern County to hold a rally. I used to live in the Kern County. Is this Bakersfield? I'm from Bakersfield. Jesus, silent. No way.
I'm sure there's a lot of things you disagree with Senator Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on. Is there anything you agree with them on?
I think that they believe in this country. I like politically, I believe we have a different method in why we believe and how we want to get it. But I don't doubt that they don't care about the country.
I came down.
And that's what it's supposed to be about. Like we have ended up into this insanely polarized political system because of Donald Trump. And I'm not sure that we can go back to what these gentlemen want to do. Because like I said, you can't get Democrats into office and then have them play nice. In the very next election, the Republicans just reuse Donald Trump's playbook and shove a bunch of shit down Democrats' throats. If you do that, we're broken for good. And this is like an abusive relationship. You can only go back to the left wing is going to be the adult in the room. The left wing is going to be the party that plays nice. The left wing is going to be the one that observes decorum, and they're going to observe that the judicial system is, a part of all of this, and they're not going to ignore it like Donald Trump is doing right now. You can't, have Congress completely bow out and let everything go through that Donald Trump wants to go through, even if they stand against it or morally they think it's wrong. You can't have what's going on right now and then have the Democratic Party win the next presidency and them not play by the same playbook. So I don't know that we're going to see what these guys want, but obviously that's when the country does work the best, is when we have voices that are willing to talk to each other, willing to disagree on fundamentals, still having a moral ground to stand on and not being willing to give on things like racism, on homophobia, on, like I was just talking about with the difference between an industrial America versus a service-driven America. No denying reality. You can't, there's no argument there. You can't debate that. I'm not willing to debate that. But you can talk about, whether taxes should be lowered here or there, whether or not infrastructure, should be, putting bullet trains across the country, or just improving our road systems, or, is our educational system, like that's something that we all agree on, that our educational system is broken. We just disagree on how to fix it. We can definitely talk about all those things. But the problem is that the Republican Party will not excise the cancer on their side and have shown no want to get rid of Donald Trump as long as he wins. So you can't ask Democrats to be the adult in the room anymore. You can't gaslight these people and say, yeah, but you're the left. You're supposed to be the ones that operate on decorum and operate on etiquette. Because if the right wing, if right now, I'll tell you this, if conservatives today stood up and said, we'll impeach Donald Trump, we'll get rid of him. You're right. We thought he was going to be better than this, and instead he's gone batshit crazy and, not observing court decisions, not listening to the Supreme Court, deporting people with no due process. We stand against all of those things. We're going to get rid of his ass. That might save a little bit of that grace. That might put us back on some kind of ground where you can have actual conversations with each other about important subjects. But if over the next 4 years, this country looks anything like it has for these last 3 months, there is absolutely no way that the Democrats should give even a fucking inch if they win in 2028. $10. Thank you, 5 Alarm Fire. The damage Trump has done to this country is going to take a decade to fix. The damage he's done with our allies may never fully recover. 100%. 100%. You can't. It's been 3 months. 3 months. And I think 5 Alarm's being generous, saying a decade. It might take longer. Shit, it might take the advent of fucking AI coming in to settle our differences. Not only has he done damage to our country, not only has he done damage to our allies, but he's done damage to the citizens, the people. He is the most divisive human being that has existed within our country, at least in my lifetime. He has created a greater divide between Americans and fellow Americans than any other figure in my lifetime and possibly in the history of America. Like I said, if you're not willing to call out Donald Trump, I don't need you to call him out for his racism. I don't need you to call him out for the weird shit he says about his daughter. You know, like, that's all Jerry Springer shit, in my opinion. Does it make him unqualified to be the president of the United States? Yeah, because I think it makes you a poor leader to be that kind of shitty human being. But what I do need you to call him out for is for him not observing due process for people here in America. Legally or illegally, due process is important. I need you to call him out for firing veterans. I need you to call him out for the insider trading bullshit when he stands there and says, this is Charles Schwab. He made $2.5 billion off of me telling him to fucking buy now. And if you can't do those things, then don't ever expect me or any other person to look at you like you have any sense in your goddamn head. Not even a little bit. Because every person here is now dealing with your decision to vote for Donald Trump. Every person that's here right now in this country over the last 3 months that have lost jobs, that have lost relationships with loved ones because they joined a MAGA cult, you owe them an apology. If you want to heal, if you've ever been, I've been in a relationship for 20 plus years. If you want to heal a divide between you and people that are important to you, the most important thing that you can do is apologize. And then you need to follow up with your actions. Because sorry is just a word. So you got to follow up with your actions. And you got to show people that you're sorry. But if you're a Trump supporter and you expect this to get any better down the line while standing 10 toes down for a guy who is legit fucking up our country, I got news for you. It ain't going to get any better. It's only going to get worse. There was that pesky Civil War. Max left. Robert E. Lee might be more divisive. Or, sorry, Jefferson Davis. Robert E. Lee was just a general. Also an asshole. But I guess I could, if you wanted to make the argument, Max left, that Jefferson Davis was more divisive than Donald Trump, I think the jury's still out. But that's a good argument to make. I like that one.
I'm here to understand, essentially. I want very much to see the Democratic Party come back strong. As far as Sanders is concerned, ideologically, I don't align with him. However, he's proven to be an able politician. Okay, he has also, too, done what he could as a senator to keep us from being engaged in too many wars. So I certainly would go ahead and give him credit for that. Again, his vision of the country and mine do differ. But the fact that they're here and they're willing to go ahead and explain their position to people, I believe is important. I think it's going to lead to understanding. It's going to lead to more discussion.
This is the first political I've ever gone to. I worked in agriculture, and we're going to lose a lot. Nobody's talking about hardly, but we're going to lose a lot of markets probably, because once other countries don't buy here. They're going to buy from Argentina,
Yep.
Brazil, top
yep.
1 and 2 corn and soybean, and it's going to hurt the farmers here.
Good liars get rid of
Something
this
like
guy.
I've taught my
No doubt,
children.
Troy.
When someone lies all the time, you never know when they're lying and when they're not. And we have a good case of that right now with Mr. Trump. And but Bernie Sanders, I like him because he's recognizing things a lot of people aren't. He's bringing it out, and he's working hard.
It's
He
about
doesn't have
time
to
to
do
bring
this.
that
He's
goddamn
working hard
appreciation.
to help people understand what's going on.
The conservatives became something that no one should recognize. They became hateful, racist people. And that's not me. We're here to help everybody.
Called
We're here
out.
to help each other. There's no reason in the world to be exclusive of anyone. Who cares who you love? Who cares what color you are? Who cares what your eyes look like? We're supposed to be in this together. And the conservatives are no longer in this together.
And look, it's going to take all of us.
themselves now.
It can't just be one side or the other. We're going to have to come together, put our differences aside, and do what's best for the American people.
Like I said, you know, it's going to take more than that, my friends. You want to heal the divide, you can't just say, my bad. That's not how you heal a divide. It's not going to be enough to just say, my bad. I don't know these gentlemen. I don't know how these gentlemen voted. But if you're a conservative, and I've made this point before, there are differences between conservatives and libertarians and MAGA Republicans. And if you're a conservative or you're a libertarian and you chose to vote for Trump because you thought just whatever you thought about Kamala Harris, whatever insanity you thought about Kamala Harris. Because like I said, I've debunked every single fucking thing, both that Tulsi Gabbard said during the primaries and all the bullshit that people said during the election process. And I will happily continue to debunk every single fucking thing they've said about Kamala Harris. But if for whatever reason you chose to be the politically illiterate person that you did and decided to vote for Donald Trump, then it's on you to come out and do what those people are doing. It's on you to find that common ground. Because you can't ask a person that is the victim in the scenario to be the person that heals the divide. That's fucking insane. That's insane. It's your job to heal that divide. And if you don't, and you get a left-wing president, and that left-wing president says, you know what? Everybody's getting UBI. Everybody's getting universal health care. Everybody's getting their college debt released. First of all, I think that's a pretty amazing world myself. But if you don't like that and you think that that's a bad idea, then maybe you should have done more to heal that divide. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. And check out that video on the screen now.